Well, good afternoon. Tuesday, I think it's like January 31st. Oh, just whacked that dog in the face with a coffee cup. Anyways, that's what they get for following too close, I suppose. Getting a little bit of a later start today. And no, it's not because I was inside laying down and sleeping in. We had to take the newborn to the hospital this morning to do a pre-scheduled blood test. So there was some like minor concerns around her, so they wanted to do a bit of a follow-up, whatever, 2-3 days after she was home, one more blood test. So we went there this morning, did the blood test, came back, and I was just getting fired up to go out and start my day when they phoned and they were like, yeah, we didn't even get enough blood, so then we had to go back. And yeah, we're just getting home now. So I don't know if you can see, but it's snowing. We're actually under a snowfall warning. There's two big pros to this. The trees look absolutely beautiful again. They had bared right off, and the fields were bared right off. So we're gonna get some much needed snow cover for spring moisture. Yesterday, I put my tractor back together. That I just cleaned up that starter on the tractor and put it back together. And then I made a mess of bags. I think I made like 16 or 17 bags yesterday. So that was kind of all that was about. Today I want to get my last couple things buttoned up on this Cockshutt tractor. So I mean, it's pretty much done. I was gonna find some blocks to make up the space on this battery compartment. So this originally came with two long 6-volt batteries hooked together to make 12 volts. That's a dumb idea. I don't even know why that ever got going. So anyways, we just got one 12-volt battery in there, but because there's a bunch of extra space, this doesn't sit up properly. So we had to get some 2x4s cut and stuck in there. But as far as the way it's going to look, it's done. That's all it's getting. I got one more can of white and one more can of red to do any touch-ups from when I put all these on. I scraped it up here a little bit. And then these two holes, actually, my dad had mounted a ether can, runs in here. So, before it was all nice and shiny. It was whatever, the ether can fit. But now I got it tucked up inside. Well, you can't see. Anyways, it's tucked up inside there, like an out of sight, out of mind sort of a thing. So it just kind of looks a little cleaner. But I got to run the wires back up to the dash and to the button. And then we like to run the power for the ether button through the start position of the key. That way, when you're driving down the field and you fall out of the seat, or you got a young individual riding with you that likes to push buttons, when they push the ether button, it doesn't just shoot a load of ether into your running engine and then give you like 1,000,000 horsepower until the until it comes apart. It was actually funny because I remember my dad was working southern Alberta around a Hutterite colony, and we'd go over and chat with them. They were getting water from the dugout on their farm, and they were saying that the teenagers, they found that if they were climbing a hill in their tractors or whatever and things started to lug down a little bit, they could give her a shot of ether until it blew the engine apart, I guess. Not funny for them, but kind of funny story. So that's why we do that. I don't know. I think lots of things are. I think those 4440s are actually, like factory like that, where once the tractor's running, the button doesn't work. But anyways, I'm going to get doing that. I wasn't smart enough to do that before I put the dash all back together, so I got to take the dash apart enough to get my hands in there. And then I think I'm actually going to fire this up, take it outside, because I don't want it in here anymore. It's been in here all fall and so far all winter. All right, well, I did get my ether can wired up. Got a barrel of molasses filled for a guy that's coming. I also got whatever, they get the 8 bags of barley and another tote of molasses gone to another guy. And then the neighbor even popped by and he grabbed another tote of molasses. So things are going good on that front. Still snowing like crazy, but you can't just, you can't say nothing about that, because it's needed, and it's absolutely beautiful to look at all these spruce trees. Even the shitty old poplars don't look too bad when they got a little bit of snow on them. So back to the shop for me. I'm not going to try that 4440 because it hasn't been plugged in at all, and I know it definitely won't start, and I don't want to go through the process of finding a booster pack or a battery charger or boosting it, because you don't want to leave the batteries dead, especially if you think that they're already on their way out. But I will plug it in tonight because I'm going to have to plow snow in the morning. It's supposed to snow all day tomorrow yet too. Well, with that 2-stroke diesel, she's louder than loud, but the old Cockshutt is leaving the shop. We got other things to do this winter, so I'm going to park it over in that cold storage shed. But I think it turned out all right. Still got to get that battery box sorted out, but well, now he can hibernate for the winter in amongst all the other tractors, I guess. Kind of amazing, eh? Like the progression. I remember my dad actually seeded with this tractor. Like not a whole bunch in my lifetime, but he did seed with it. And now we seed with these 4-wheel drives and quad tracks and all that stuff. So it's kind of amazing how fast it's going. In fact, there was just a gentleman here that was, and we were talking about that, how hard it must have been to try to eke out a living here, way in the north, and you come and there's just most of them like they walked, and then they had a horse, and they, you started chopping down poplars and trying to prove up 10 acres. And then that was in like the 20s, and then the 30s, and then the Second World War came, and you couldn't even get machinery till after that, and now we complain if the GPS doesn't work for 10 minutes because we have to steer for a couple of rounds. Amazing. I'm going to stick my tires back in. If you don't know the story of those tires, well, you haven't been watching the channel very long, and I would encourage you to go back and watch some of the videos. Also, if you've made it this far and you're not already subscribed to the channel, I would definitely appreciate that. We love to see, love the support. It's the cheapest thing you'll ever do, is subscribe to a small channel, but and then like the video too. Apparently that's really important. Oh, good evening. Kind of a bit lonely up here now that we got no critters. But it's easier on the waters, I can tell you that, with no pigs running around. Of course, these ones, I just turned them off. Those heating elements, they get a little bit hard on the old power bill. Thanks to, well, just everything. I mean, I'm not one who's going to pinpoint it on one thing, but I can say it's, the shoulders are getting sore trying to carry all this extra stuff that they force on you. So, when people can say, well, don't do it. Well, you're 50% of the way there, but somebody has to, right? Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to raise the food. And then just as much as there has to be somebody to bitch about those who raise the food. We all have our place. I'm just taking some scraps up to the chickens, and then I'm gonna check this pig water here. And the other thing I want to do is check my my compost pile in there. So this will be the first time I've had success with that. I'm not even sure what they call it, deep litter method, where it starts to warm up and actually help heat your chicken coop. So if, oh look, there's still water in there. Winning. All right, well that's a win. Yeah, so that's pretty beneficial, that supplemental heat. You don't have to have a heat lamp or anything like that. You can just get it right off the floor. So it is only about -8 outside. And this is, you know, it's not the biggest coop, whatever. So there's 4x8 sheets. So 8.5 feet by, what are these? 4, 8, by 12 maybe. The roof is insulated. The walls are all insulated. And then what it was a old wooden granary that we salvaged. So outside here, they basically made a chicken coop inside of the granary. So outside here, Corey keeps all her stuff. And then up top there, you can keep some more stuff. They put a few lights in it. Actually did a really good job. I didn't have anything to do with it, but in here, in the coop part, kind of stays fairly warm, even in the coldest of times. But I was, like I said, I was trying to do that deep litter or whatever, where you can get the, you can get this starting to react and do its thing, and it'll start to heat up the floor. So what do we got here? So you can see there, that's about -4 degrees, right? Now if I dig away a little bit, I should get a fork, I think. Turn it up a little bit. I haven't made it up here to do this in a little bit. But I think if I do that, hopefully we get some action. Nothing, and that's a shame, because I had it, the other day I had it up to like 35 degrees, so let me dig around here. Obviously something isn't right. All right, well that's obviously not what we wanted. I was hoping to see 35, 40 degrees Celsius. Instead I saw -4. So thankfully it's, you know, it's very mild, and you know, they not hard on the birds because they're out of the weather, and they're like little furnaces anyway, so they stay pretty warm as long as it doesn't get too crazy cold again. I'm gonna have to reach out to my buddy. He's the Gentleman Farmer on YouTube, and that's where I got this idea from. He has quite a bit of success with that. In fact, about I don't know, a week or so ago, he uploaded a video, and his was like, I don't know, he stuck a thermometer in it, and it climbed like right up, like hot like an oven. So come on dogs. So I'll have to reach out to him and ask him why my compost pile or deep litter pile or whatever you want to call it went cold on me, because it was working. It was up to 40 degrees. But that's going to be it for me tonight. I'm going to head in, get showered up, and go for some supper. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all on the next one.